Remember that currency? This is what my class would be about. Well, I don't know how I'm gonna fit that in. I could fit that in here. I guess I could fit that in history, right?
Funerals, and we want to cry and weep over what we are already doing in the abortion.
Get your own currency. You have to
hard to believe.
You have to establish a bunch of industry.
Think about it, right? Since 1973, 72 or 73,
each one of those industries you establish have to take
20 million.
All of those industries have to be linked.
They had I gotta repeat some of them.
Spending it outside.
To Israel last month.
You have to get other industries to.
There was orders to take specific steps.
Taking your currency
in this war.
Just like when Bitcoin first came out. When Bitcoin first came out, they can't come out until people agreed to take it, like GM, different banks take it. You know what I mean? So in order for you to establish, oh shit, okay, my bad. Okay,
clap it up.
My bad.
No, you can continue to warm.
Yeah.
Look, this the One West News Desk, bringing all your local, your national, your international news. We got a good one tonight. You got Elon Musk's Doge department wreaking havoc in America. You got Donald Trump's tariffs. What else we got, Mathon? We
got the Baltimore City Police weaponizing the Internal Affairs Unit. So we got that local news, we got that national news and international news. We try to bring it to you live and all over, give you a perspective from all the way around,
God, I know we've been saturated with the Grammys this week.
Right.
That's been saturated on your goddamn news feed. So we're gonna have to feed you some real news.
Right.
Okay. Some real news. So we'll start local here tonight. We'll start local.
This first article that you pulling up this Baltimore City, right?
I'm gonna pull up this Baltimore City joint. I'm gonna share this article with the audience here. And we'll start local tonight. What's going on here in Baltimore?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cops claim Baltimore police leaders weaponize Internal Affairs Unit. 2 former Baltimore City prosecutors filed a lawsuit on behalf of 1 former and 1 current Baltimore police officer on Monday, claiming there is widespread corruption and misconduct within the city police agency's Internal Affairs Unit.
Now, think about this, right? That Internal Affairs Unit is supposed to be the unit that tracks the conduct of police officers. Now, when you got corruption within the Internal Affairs Unit, the whole system is corrupt. There is no good within the Baltimore City Police Department, and there has never been any good within the police department. You understand? And the brothers that I believe they were brothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because this beast wants us to go out and he wants us to destroy our own people. Well, every so often we get brothers that get into our oppressors, either military or police force, and then they figure out that this is no good for us. And then they are the ones that don't betray their people. And this is what happens. I'm gonna read this part right here. You got it?
Okay.
Attorney Patrick Jennings and Michael Torello worked together for nearly a decade at the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office, where they were assigned to major investigations and narcotics unit. Now, in a private practice, they allege that Deputy Police Commissioner Brian Nadeau improperly took control of his misconduct investigation and is engaged in a series of improper pressure campaigns to intimidate Baltimore Police Department officers. Now, of course, we all know that task force, that task force that they had, it's been task force like that since I was young, since back in the early 80s. They've always had that. You understand what I'm saying? And the whole thing is to get people to conform when they come into the Baltimore Police Department and to treat our people as the slaves that they believe we are. You understand? Intimidate, plant drugs. This is all of the things that have been going on for decades in Baltimore City. Go on.
And if I could,
Go ahead.
internal affairs, just to repeat, is set in place to stop corruption.
Right.
But the corruption was so corrupt, it seeped into the very department that was supposed to cease it.
Right.
I mean, goddamn, huh? And that just goes to show you, how in the hell are you going to have an internal affairs that's a part of the same department that wear the same badge? You got to have a separate entity that's going to govern or have this checks and balances over the entire department, whether it be Central District, Eastern District. Has to be a separate branch of city, what's the word? Authority.
It can't even be connected
It
with the
can't be.
Baltimore City Police
How you
Department.
going to investigate your own peoples? That's how they look. That's how they looking at it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's like asking a robber for justice after they robbed you.
Mhm.
That's like expecting justice from the very people who break into your house. You ain't gonna get that. There's no way. You understand? And this is what we fall for. And this is what happens when we call for more police officers. You understand? And then every once in a while, when you get a good officer, this is what happens to them. They get intimidated to do evil against their own people. And I'm pretty sure that these were brothers right here. You understand?
And if you ever dealt with trying to report an officers, ever had to dealt with internal affairs, it's a heavy pushback.
Right.
It's heavy pushback. Listen, and this is not just Baltimore City, it's Anne Arundel County, Howard County, any department. Their internal affairs for their checks and balances is in the same building. It's in the same. You're going to the precinct where the officer works at, asking for justice.
Right.
Come on, man, it's a joke.
It says the Baltimore City Police Department and the highest ranking officials in that department engaged in a pattern of corruption intended purely on intimidating or retaliating against officers in their own ranks. Torello told Spotlight on Maryland in an exclusive interview. Former and current clients and citizens have made credible allegations about the misconduct of those officials.
Damn.
You understand? And the scriptures tell us what the scriptures tell us. They hunt our steps.
Mhm.
You understand? So no matter whether you're in blue or on the opposite side of the blue line, they hunt our steps, period. This is what they do. This is what a beast does. A beast only knows one thing, and that's to kill and destroy. Salakia, unalive. You can continue
That's their
reading.
nature. Go ahead.
Okay. The 24-page lawsuit filed against Deputy Commissioner Nadeau, former Commissioner Michael Harrison, and current Public Integrity Bureau Chief Olafemi Akani. That's an African.
Sound like a Hamite to me.
That's a Hamite right there. You understand? And of course, you understand why not? It tells us that the nations have gathered against us. You understand? They are confederate against us. But anyway, along with several others, alleged senior Baltimore Police Department command staff weaponized the investigative and disciplinary powers against Officer Jeffrey and Raquel Lilly. The complaint alleges that the Baltimore Police Department Internal Affairs attempted to harm the Lilly family because they were seeking to reclaim ownership of French bulldog puppies that were part of a family business. The attorney told Spotlight on Maryland that Lilly had signed a breeding contract with extended family members. Family member James Blue was the signer of the contract and married to Captain Lakeisha Blue, assigned to the Baltimore City Police Department's Public Integrity Bureau. After James was unalived inside his car in January 2022, the Lillys attempted to retrieve a puppy litter valued at over $50,000 from Captain Blue. Wow, God. They must have been, what was they? They must have been French bulldogs. $50,000.
You know, corruption.
Yeah.
It's corrupt. This is what you got to recognize and understand. It's corruption on all levels. Your local, your state, all the way up to your national, international,
And the federal.
corruption, federal. You understand?
Yeah.
You want to continue on?
Come on, sir.
Yeah.
Baltimore Police Department received requests from Baltimore County Police to serve 2 open warrants on Blue's unaliver just days before the fatal incident. According to the lawsuit, however, Baltimore Police Department denied the request from Baltimore County. The lawsuit alleges Deputy Commissioner Nadeau became involved in the Lillys' private dispute with Captain Blue after the unaliving. Man, this is heavy right here.
You talking about a decorated officer here involved in some folly. Go ahead.
On February 8th, 2022, Jeffrey Lilly met with Deputy Commissioner Nadeau and Director Akani at the Baltimore Police Department headquarters, which is downtown. The lawsuit document said during the meeting, Deputy Commissioner Nadeau made statements to intimidate Mr. Lilly into abandoning the pursuit of his property and ending his efforts to enforce his contract. That's what do they call that? That's first off, it's a strong arm robbery, right? And then that's witness intimidation. All of these things, everything that they supposed to stand for, are all of the laws that they break. You understand? This is our oppressor, and this is what our oppressor does. And he's done it time and time and time again, just like we always talk about the Native American Indians, all of the treaties that they had with the Native American Indians, and they broke those treaties, just like they're doing with Canada right now. It's like they're doing with Mexico. And we talking about Mexico, you know?
Y'all take it when y'all get a chance. Pull up this article. You're gonna see how corrupt and foul the behavior of these Baltimore police, ranked officials. You know what I mean? You want to read on? You got more?
Come on, sir. According to the complaint, Jeffrey Lilly became aware of an alleged impending investigation that was likely to be launched by the FBI, specifically from the local field office.
Jeez.
That local field office, that's over in Woodlawn.
The
local field office is in Woodlawn.
I know exactly where that's.
So they connected. Listen, they connected with the FBI, the county police, the FBI, and everybody. All of them is right there together. Specifically from the local field office, where he was cross-assigned as a detective on wiretapping cases. The purported investigation was into the validity of the puppy contract. And that's crazy, right there.
And they got all the documents.
They got the documents right here of the puppy contracts. Lilly's attorney informed Spotlight on Maryland that the complaint was subsequently filed against the Internal Affairs leadership, putting Deputy Commissioner Nadeau in the line of an internal investigation.
Now it's gonna get fishy.
Right. Deputy Commissioner Nadeau became a subject of the investigation, not because of the Lillys, but from his own detective, Torillo said. The detective said after viewing evidence of the counter complaint against Jeffrey Lilly, it became clear to him that Nadeau's meeting with Lilly on February 8th was improper, and he had himself needed to be investigated, and he himself needed to be investigated for the neglect of duty.
Damn.
After that point, the pressure really ramped up against our client, Torello added. Jeffrey Lilly ultimately faced felony charges in Baltimore County shortly after his initial meeting with the deputy commissioner. Damn, the county police turned against him and then put felony charges on him. Listen, this is the reason why we gotta police our own people.
Right.
You understand? Because we're gonna never get justice. Every time we turn around, these are the things that happen to us because we keep relying on our oppressor to give us justice.
God.
Jeffrey Lilly ultimately faced felony charges in Baltimore County shortly after his initial meeting with the deputy commissioner. Those charges were eventually dropped, but they formed the basis for a separate investigation into Lilly. Jennings alleged that the deputy commissioner deliberately used up time to prevent a thorough investigation of the complaint against Internal Affairs and his leadership. Brian Nadeau, specifically at the top of the Public Integrity Bureau, instructed officers on how to handle the investigation, Jennings said. He was on email correspondence where officers repeatedly said, "This isn't right. We're not comfortable doing this. This isn't the way this case should be investigated." And he continued to ramp up the pressure. They got documents and everything.
Goddamn bully, yo.
Yes, sir. And listen, this is the thing. Just like the sister a few years back that pulled that officer off the brother that was handcuffed, that he was half beaten, and then they fired her.
Right.
You understand? And this is what happens to us when we believe that we are the same as our oppressor. When we put on that blue or we put on that badge, you still the same slave that you was before you put that badge and that blue on. And we got to recognize that we are a nation of people that are not desired.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is heavy right here. The Deputy Commissioner Nadeau did not respond to the questions sent about this incident or agree to an interview regarding the allegations against him. This lawsuit comes after Baltimore Police Department recently settled a separate civil case involving an assault by an officer against a fellow officer, deputy female officer, outside Norma Jean's, which is downtown on the strip on Baltimore. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On August 2018, the complaint claimed that an Internal Affairs lieutenant tried to file baseless criminal charges and conducted a pressure campaign against the assaulted officer who submitted a complaint against her colleague. So you getting beat up by the very person that you out there on the beat with.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that something?
This is their nature. This is their culture.
We can never trust them. You know?
Violent beast.
Yeah. And Joshua Harris, chairman of Baltimore City Police Accountability Board, told Spotlight on Maryland that although he cannot comment on the specifics of the lawsuit, he would not be surprised if there is significant legitimacy. I have learned that complaints from the public are oftentimes a reflection of internal corruption and culture change needed, Harris said. Listen, they've been calling for culture change since I was young.
100%.
You know what I mean? And every time we hear,
hamster, if I could,
yeah,
it's a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Are we gonna? You always seeing that advertisement for Baltimore City Police, and it's always like, be the change.
Yep.
Be the change for the department. Right. Like, how long? This is just what y'all do. If you meanwhile you go there to be the change, and then you get changed.
Yep.
You become a goddamn criminal,
yeah,
and a bully, and a crook, and greedy, beating up brothers in the alley, taking their DOPE money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Money, taking their jewelry,
assaulting women. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's plenty of stories. We know the gang. And then you got a department, Internal Affairs. You filthy bastards, man. I had to deal with these goddamn devils before.
Yeah.
Pushback after pushback after pushback. Come on, we're gonna drop this article.
Right.
We're gonna go into some national news here.
Okay. Drop back.
we're going to get into these tariffs. I know you've been saturated on your timeline about the goddamn Kanye West and the Grammys and Beyonce. Let's get into some real news.
When you got
CNN.
okay. I don't think I got.
Here's what
yeah.
will get more expensive.
Oh, I got the one Elon Musk said down.
Hold that. We go there next.
Okay.
But I'm on tariffs here. Here's what will get more expensive from Trump's tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China. And mind you, this is gonna impact food, fuel. It's going to impact so much, and who's going to pay for it? The people.
Right.
That's what we don't recognize. That's why the headline is what's going to get where's the price is going to be impacted at. It's going to be impacted where we consume it. You understand?
Right.
I mean, hell, everything already high. I remember when he was running for the presidency. We're gonna lower. We're gonna slash prices. We're gonna tackle inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Man, inflation. You think inflation, son? See what's better be at your local grocery store in a second.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
I was listening to a geopolitical analyst today, right? And they were talking about those same tariffs, and they was talking about Mexico, China, and who was the other one? Canada. It's like we receive most of our stuff from all three of them, right?
Yep.
So everything is going to go up on us, the citizens of the United States, or, you know, the people that live in the United States. They said every time a empire collapses, this is what happens. The people at the top get richer, but it's only a few of them up there. What happens is everything falls from the bottom down. We all feel it first. Everything goes up, then the whole system will collapse. The rich do not care about who's on the bottom. They just care about getting richer. You understand? This is the reason why America has no industries in it now. This is why everything is subcontracted to India, over into South Africa, into Mexico. This is the reason why all of those businesses have moved out. You understand? Now America is living on capitalism, and it's about to fall apart. There you go, sir.
You're absolutely right. Let's get into the article. On Saturday, President Donald Trump made good on his promise to impose steep tariffs on America's three largest trading partners, Canada, China, and Mexico, citing a national emergency on the flow of fentanyl and undocumented immigrants into the United States. The action, which is expected to take effect on Tuesday, includes a 25% duty on all imports from Mexico and most goods from Canada. There's a 10% carve out for energy-related items such as crude oil, and an additional 10% tariff on Chinese goods imported into the United States. Trump has used and promised to employ tariffs for three primary purposes: to raise revenue, to bring trade into balance, and to bring rival countries to the negotiating table.
Backwards.
However, economists warn that these moves negatively impact American businesses, consumers, many of whom are still reeling from the sharp rise in inflation. And didn't we just mention this?
Yep.
In recent years?
Think about this too, right? What is that? In 2009, what was that?
The market crash, the housing crash.
No. What's the how much you make at work? What's the lowest? Where they start you at? What they call it? The
minimum wage.
Minimum wage was $7.50
It's still
in
750.
2009. It's still $7.50. He said, but everything else has been going up at 2% every year. So just imagine somebody making $7.50 an hour. Think about our brothers and sisters right there on the border that come in and making that $7.50 an hour, or sometimes
less.
even less. You understand? And inflation goes up every year. They struggling more and more and more. And we got brothers and sisters here on that same $7.50.
Absolutely.
You understand? They don't care about us at the bottom. Only thing they care about is filling their own coffers.
And what we don't recognize and understand, like the cost of living and the wages have been separating themselves for the last several decades, since the late 60s.
1970 to be exact.
1970 when they separated from the gold, right?
Right.
And that's when it was on and popping for the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that gap between the cost of living and income has been growing larger and larger and larger.
Every year.
That's why everybody want to get overtime.
Yeah.
Everybody fighting. Overtime was just like, man, I'm gonna get a little bit of cash, top my check this week. I'm gonna stay back. Now it's like, if you don't get the overtime, you behind on your bills.
Yeah.
If you don't get the second job or the side hustle, you are done for.
Right.
I mean, you used to could just get a job. That's all you had to do was, man, I'm gonna get me a job. I'm gonna be good. Now it's like, you got to get a job, then you got to get overtime, then you got to get a part. I remember. I'm saying like I'm old. God damn.
Remember when?
It used to be having multiple streams of income. You was like on a different level.
Right.
Now multiple streams of income is a mandatory thing.
Need 2 jobs.
You need 2 jobs. You need overtime. And then after that, now you're looking for a third way to get some money.
Right.
Am I rambling? Let me get on to this.
That's the whole truth. You know?
Go ahead.
Listen, I've been through that. Working 2 jobs, coming home tired, coming home just to get ready to go to another job.
Uh-huh. Get off work to go to
Right.
Get off work to go to work.
Yeah.
Get off work. I gotta get ready for work.
I go straight to my second job.
And and everybody's living this life. This ain't life.
Right.
That's slavery. Slavery, we work sun up to sun down. What are we doing now? Sun up to sun down. A lot of us wake up before the sun come up. Get in the house, the sun is dark again. You didn't even get to enjoy sunlight. Let's read. I'm gonna get onto that story too. Let me get to some of the bulletins here. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce warned Saturday that tariffs won't solve the years-long issues at the border, and instead threatens to upend supply chains and raise prices for American families. I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna just read some of these bulletin points. Food is going to impact fuel and energy. What else? Cars and car parts.
Right.
Everything's going up. Steel, raw materials, beer and alcohol that's imported is going to go up. Home construction, forget about it. Yo.
Listen, check this out. Think about that, right? That home construction.
Mm-hmm.
You know where that wood comes from, right? It comes from China.
And all of that stuff was already getting everything is already jacked up.
Right. Yep.
That's the problem. That's what we don't recognize and understand. They hit us with the so-called inflation. It really wasn't inflation. It was extortion.
Right.
The pandemic hit, and this is my time to make money.
Yep.
This is my time to jack the price up. And then what happens? It just stayed.
Yep.
Now we paying 20, 30, 40% more for products. And we just living with it. We're in a land of extortionists and opportunists, and we're the victims. And we get hit the most because we already in poverty.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, a majority of us. All right. I'm going to climb on. Let me scroll down and get some more of these books. I just can't read the whole electronics, toys, appliances. That's including cell phones and all the raw minerals and all the components that make those electronics.
Right.
Everything is going up. right? I'm gonna drop that. We're gonna get another headline here. And again, I know your timeline has been saturated with garbage, with gossip and Kanye West and Grammys
Right.
and WWE. It's all entertainment, but we don't get tricked into the entertainment loop and the entertainment hamster wheel. Turn this radio show on every Monday. Get plugged into what's going on. If we got time, we'll plug into other things that's going on. Last week, China launched DeepSeek, and the stock market crashed. What was the other AI service? ChatGPT stock market crashed with millions. I think it was like $500 million or something. It was like a ridiculous amount of money.
Right.
They lost. But we'll get into this. What you got?
I was going to do that one about the Elon Musk, but this one right here is a little bit better. And I like this one because it shows the true character of the oppressor that we living under. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with us, but it's related to us. It's the same thing that America did to us when they destroyed all of our cities and towns. And people need to listen to this. It says Trump threatens to cut funding for South Africa over land policy. Now listen to this. The U.S. President Donald Trump has said he will cut all future funding to South Africa over allegations that it was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. Now, what classes of people is he talking about? He's talking about his people. You understand? Now, listen to this. Last month, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed into law a bill that allowed land seizures without compensation in certain circumstances. Remember, during that apartheid, all of those oppressors came over into South Africa and was taking land, stealing land from people that were on land and owned land. Now, what's happening is South Africa passed a bill that says that now they can confiscate land back. And now America is pushing back because land that they stole is being taken back.
Right.
Land ownership has long been contentious issue in South Africa, with most private farmland owned by white people. 30 years after the end of the racist system of apartheid, there have been contentious calls for the government to address land reform and deal with the past injustices of racial segregation. Now, if you remember when Tulsa, Oklahoma, when Seneca Village, when Rosewood in Florida, and all of those black cities and towns were destroyed, the oppressor came in and stole those lands, and nobody ever got compensated for it. You understand? Well, the same thing is happening in South Africa today. These are the same things that happen to us. This is the way the oppressor acts and operates no matter where he goes. South Africa's president responded to Trump with a post on X. South Africa is a constitutional democracy that is deeply rooted in a rule of law, justice, and equality. The South African government has not confiscated any land. He added that the only funding South Africa received from the U.S. was through the health initiative PEPFAR, which represented 17% of South Africa's HIV/AIDS program. Listen, this is what America does. They weaponize the aid that they use. It's the same thing that they do when they give our sisters welfare. What's the first thing that they tell them? If you get this welfare, you can't have a man in your house. If you get this welfare, now you have to take that man that's not in the house. You have to take them to child support. If that man in the house can't pay child support, then they putting out warrants for his arrest. It's the same thing that America, this blueprint that they're using against South Africa is a blueprint that they have been using on us since we've been here. We have to understand that the beast that we are under has no love for us. and no love for anybody else. You understand? Now, I'm not worried about what's happening over to those South Africans, but I want everybody to see that the same thing that's happening to these South Africans that we're hearing about today is the same thing that happens to us every day. We just forget our own injustices and we want to feel everybody else's injustices. Well, let's forget about everybody else's injustices and let's worry about our own. You understand? That's what it's got.
And more on that story.
There's some more on it. He added that the only read that part. The U.S. allocated about $440 million in assistance to South Africa in 2023, according to the U.S. government data. Elon Musk, who was born and grew up in South Africa and is now a Trump advisor, has also joined in the debate, saying the new law discriminated against white people. Now, understand this. Elon Musk's father was in South Africa stealing emeralds and gold and diamonds out of mines. Elon Musk was born a billionaire. He did not make himself a billionaire. He was born a billionaire. Him, his sister, and his brother. They never needed anything because they did just what they're doing right now in South Africa. His father did back when before he was born. You understand what I'm saying? This is not an injustice. You understand? This is justice in itself. You understand? And this is what we need to look for. And the only way we're going to find that justice is if we come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments and do what the Most High told us to do. Go ahead, Cap. Listen, I can't believe he should, of all people, to come out and say something is discriminating against white people, and your father stole emeralds and diamonds out of mines in South Africa.
What does scripture say? They hold themselves not guilty.
Not guilty.
These goddamn bastards have the audacity to believe that to believe that they're discrimination. Yeah, come on, bro.
Oh, man, listen to this, though. It says, why do you have openly racist ownership laws? Mr. Musk said to Ramaphosa in a post on X. If anybody,
you got listen. This is how you know they're the devil. They're literally deceiving the world to sway the. Your argument is that you belong there. It's written. It's history.
Right.
You invaded a land that was not yours, stole land, and now you think you're entitled to it.
They mad because somebody taking their stuff back, taking what you stole back.
Boy, oh boy.
Listen, it's on Sunday.
When Christ come back, he gonna make sure we get our land.
This is heavy right here, though. Hey, listen, if y'all get a chance, read this. It says Trump threatens to cut funding for South Africa over land policy. You need to look that up. This shows this is the countenance of our oppressor right here in this article. This is the spirit of the oppressor. They believe that they can take and do anything they want, but when something happens to them, now it's an injustice. When they have only lived on injustice, that's the only way they survive. Injustice. You understand? This is the reason why we got to work 2 and 3 jobs to survive. What else you got, Gab?
Speaking of South Africa and Elon Musk. Let's pull this here. Doge or Dodge, a lot of people pronounce it in different ways. Elon Musk is over this new department. Doge, I think it's the Department of something about economics.
Right.
You want to pull exactly what that means? I don't want to be.
Okay, I get it. See what that means.
But basically, this department is combing through federal and other, departments, basically auditing and seeing what's, if there's any folly or what have you. And in recent news, they terminated and eliminated a lot of stuff already, which was a lot of folly. But let's get into the news here. Doge Task Force gains access to U.S. Treasury Department data
Oh yeah,
payment systems.
that's Department of Government Efficiency.
And listen, Department of what?
Government efficiency.
Government, seeing that these departments are efficient
in their spending.
in their spending, which if y'all seen the underlining reports, they spending money on some millions on dumb stuff. I seen one report. They got a federal cheese rolling competition that's funded by the federal government. It is laughable. That's just one of the funny ones. They got other ones called. They had another one. Let me think.
So, like, sir, if I may, you just now said that earlier. Listen, that's a cover up.
Yeah, that's just going to somebody's pocket.
Somebody's pocket,
Yeah.
right?
And it's dozens of them have been shut down by this department, but goes to show you that it's corruption on every level,
Right.
just like we brought out earlier. On a local level with the Baltimore Police Department,
Right.
on a state level, we in a $500 million surplus that Governor Hogan left to Governor Moore. Almost $1 billion now.
Right.
I mean, it's corruption on every level, man. That's why this earth gotta be taken over by a black man by the name of Jesus Christ.
How about that?
You know what I'm saying? When black people are in rulership, ain't gonna be no corruption under Christ.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
They
right.
literally tax us damn near 50% and putting it and lining their own pockets.
Right.
The big Baltimore Washington Parkway should be smooth as butter.
Yeah.
It should be smooth as butter. The amount of money they rake in that. You know what I mean? Liberty Road, the Liberty Heights, all the way to the corner
Right.
should be smoother than butter. It's like we getting taxed. I mean, I'm getting personal.
Tax
We
our own neighborhoods, right?
Come on, man.
But we don't see none of that, you know?
That's it. Let's get back on this. They in the Treasury Department and people are straight up resigning.
Yeah.
They had was it the head of the Treasury Department that resigned? One of them big time cats that's over the money just quit. Oh, I wish I had that news on me. Let's get into this article and then we're gonna run. The Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, run by President Trump's billionaire advisor and Tesla CEO Elon Musk, has gained access to sensitive Treasury data, including Social Security and Medicare customer payment systems, according to two people familiar. They're going to think we want to Democrats up there.
Right.
They're going to think we Democrats.
Yeah, we need
we ain't Democrat
or
or Republican or none of that political mumbo jumbo.
Right. We just
Okay.
about our people. That's it.
I got the right like, do I sound like? Because this they clearly liberal. Okay, hold up. The move by Doge and Trump administration task force assigned to find ways to fire federal workers, cut programs, and slash federal regulations means it could have wide leeway to access import taxpayer data, among others. This is propaganda. I'm gonna tell you straight up. This is propaganda and covering their own behind.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of course, like CBS. Okay. I don't want to go too much. A lot of these news sources, and we not for Musk or
Right.
for Trump or for Biden or none of them cats. But this is a clearly biased
Right.
article here. This place was needed. They trying to clean themselves up, but it's too late. America is dust. America is done. That's what we gotta recognize and understand.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard some white some palm colored devils say, we getting America right. America, it's too late for you, America.
Right.
Know that. You could get your new departments, try to get the money right, move things around, but this place gonna be it's gonna be dust, bro. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Let come on over there and take a picture. Right. Where we at? Did I go too far? The New York Times first reported the news of the group's access to the massive federal payment system. The two people who spoke to the Associated Press spoke on condition of how you pronounce this?
Oh, anonymity.
Anonymity. My bad. I'm not an English major, so a lot. Because they were not authorized to speak publicly. And listen, Elon Musk, he going through these departments, making all these cuts. There's another, I got to get the other one they just shut down. The one that does the federal aid to other countries. Let me pull it. Let me see if I can pull this up for the car. This is our last story too, y'all. It's our last headline. I know it got to be in here. The U.S. aid. They shut it down.
Yeah.
The USAID security leaders were removed after refusing Elon Musk Doge employees access to security systems. They go. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why they were refusing. Because this is just a proxy, or not a proxy, or what's the word? A middleman for Congress and other people in power to line their pockets.
Right.
And they seeing all this garbage, bills being signed just to line their own pockets. That's why they ducking that.
That's why they vote on so many bills every day, just so they can funnel that money out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that money that's being stolen through the government is being funneled out through those bills. That's why everybody was voting to send those weapons over to Israel, because they was getting their pockets lined. Everybody that voted for those bills was getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they were so animate about it. We destroyed. Keep trusting in these oppressors, and then we get people up in there. We get our own people that fall right in line with them.
And what's being highlighted the most is the DEI. You'll hear this a lot in the news. The DEI. They pushing that because they not revealing the real garbage they putting money into.
Right. DEI stands for diversity, equity, inclusion.
They pushing that heavy. And really, you want to know who benefited from that the most? White women.
Yep.
White women benefited the most from the DEI initiative or program.
And another, if I may, sir, another thing about that DEI, a lot of people don't understand. They call it, what's that? Diversity, equality, inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
These are the same vices that they use to redline us. All of that information that they get, your zip code and all of this stuff, acting like they want to help people in certain zones and everything. These are the same vices that they use to redline us. These are the certain vices that they use with insurance companies. When your insurance rate is high, it's because of DEI. Because you live in a certain zone, this is what they do. They give us higher insurance rate. And the thing about it is the accident rates in the suburbs is higher because people get to drive faster because there ain't too many people out there. We think, yeah, exactly. No cameras, no nothing.
Think of real quick. Think about this. Park Heights. Park Heights from Francistown Road coming up to Northern Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
All cameras, black neighborhood. As soon as you cross Northern Parkway,
Mm-hmm.
the cameras cease. Why? Because now you're in the so-called G-Town.
Right, exactly. You know,
that's just a local thing.
But but it's true, right? And then the thing about it is, it don't even be that many accidents down there. But because it's in that neighborhood, that's what they do it for, especially going up Bel Air Road. You ever see that but one at Frankfurt that be just flashing for nothing?
Frankfurt and
Frankfurt right there in Bel Air Road. Frankfurt and Bel Air Road. It just be flashing.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my rib sat there one morning and watched it just flashing while we sitting at the red light.
Over there by the Aldi's. So Aldi's right there. So liquor store right there. I don't even
right, yeah.
And it's a school right there.
Yep.
Frankfurt and Aldi's. Before White Ave. I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
It's extortion.
Yeah.
You see that and it's the same thing in every city. Philly. Oh, let's go to take it to DC. Oxon Hill, full of cameras. All the black communities in DC, full of cameras. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Same thing in Philly. Same thing in Wilmington. Same thing on the Eastern Shore, Fruitland, Queen Anne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As soon as it get black, you see a camera.
Yep.
Let's get some more. The U.S. Agency for International Development, Director of Security and his deputy were placed on administrative leave. Said, listen, they in there raking up money, sending money to a bunch of dumb programs that probably don't even exist,
yep.
And lining the pockets of Congress, lining the pockets of what's the other cat?
Congress, the Senate,
and the Congress and the Senate.
Yep, they the ones that get all the money. That's why they fighting for the pass them laws and everything like that. Because those industries that really want those laws passed are the ones that's the lobbyists that's paying them.
There you go. And they dumping money into dumb program like the one I just mentioned, the cheese rolling competition. That's a real thing.
Cheese rolling competition. What?
You probably not even heard of it. I seen a bunch of things that this department cut already. It's laughable.
Right.
They had a committee to find out what what's the man that landed on the moon? Neil
Armstrong.
They had a committee. I think it was like paying up to $150,000 a year plus just to find out what he said. The first thing, the accurate things he said on the moon.
To see how accurate.
Like it was a bunch of chaotic stuff in this report. We'll have it for you next time here on the One West News Desk. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge on the One West 125th Street. Join us every Monday night, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for your local, your state, your national, your international news.
Right.
We are your Bloomberg. We are your Fox. We are your real CNN, unbiased and uncut in truth. You understand? With that, I'm your host, Captain Sparia, with my host,
Officer Matham.
We see y'all next time on the One West News Desk. Shalom. Yeah, I'm